Today I've got 10 things from e.l.f. that I think is really underrated. I don't really hear a lot about, and I don't think they get the recognition that they deserve. So I've got 10 things to show you. So if you want to see the e.l.f. products, okay, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Like I said, these e.l.f. products, you know, some of them I've had for a while, some of them are new, but you don't really hear a lot about, especially a ton of these things that I have, you don't hear nothing about. I didn't even know that they made them. Like, for instance, did you know that e.l.f. made makeup for acne? I had no idea. I've never heard nothing about this, and maybe I'm not watching all the videos that I need to be watching, but I did not know that they had a makeup line for people with acne. So let's go ahead and jump right in. The first thing that I've got is actually the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. Now, sure, you did see a lot of videos on this one, especially when it first came out, but then it all kind of just died down. You don't really hear much about it. You don't see them on favorites, except for mine, because I love the Illuminating Palette. This is such a beautiful palette. And I don't believe they come in different shades or anything, but it does have this frosty white, and it's also got one with a pink tint. And then it's got this gold colored one, and then of course the champagne colored one. And this has got like a bit of, dare I say, taupe in it, but it does land beautifully on my skin, especially for light skin tones as in myself. But like I said, when it first come out, I mean, it was all the hype, and now it just sort of died down and you don't hear nothing else about it. So that's why this is going to be on my list. I love this palette. Beautiful. And it's used at least once a week. I do use it. I've got so much stuff now that I try to use everything that I like. But I've also got to try those products that I haven't used yet. The ones that I'm testing out. So it kind of gets set to the back burner until then. Now the next thing I have is the e.l.f. one of the e.l.f. Smudge Pots. And this is in the shade Brownie Points. I'm definitely not sure if you can see this one that well. These little smudge pots are so beautiful, and what they are cream eyeshadows, but man, do they pack some pigment, and they hold beautifully. They stay on all day, and yes, they do smudge out. So if you want to do a smoky eye with just this one, it's going to do it. I mean, they're just so beautiful. I don't know if I could do a live swatch for you or not. I'm going to try. And of course, there she is. Do you all see that? That is such a beautiful shade. I mean, it is so beautiful. And I mean, I just can't get over these little things. I love them. I've got like 3 of them, but Brownie Points is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, the next thing that I've got is actually my e.l.f. highlighter, and it is busted to pieces. I don't know if you can see this, but it is definitely busted. I've tried the alcohol trick on it twice, and it keeps breaking. It is such a delicate highlighter, but man, does it pack a punch. This is such a beautiful highlighter, and I'm wearing it today. I don't know if you could tell, but you would think that this is going to be a very gold color. Let me see if I can't open this without dumping it everywhere. I'm not sure. I don't think I could kind of turn it up, but I will try to swatch it for you. See, it looks really gold in the pan, but it definitely doesn't go on that gold. This is more like a frosty, and I'm not going to say a frosty white, but like a yellow tint. And it really pairs beautifully with fair colored skin like myself. And it is actually just called gold, but it is a beautiful highlighter. That's why I can't bring myself to toss this one. This one should be thrown in the trash, but it's not going nowhere. Matter of fact, I'll probably do the alcohol trick one more time just to see what it's got. If it don't do it that time, then I'm going to get a new one because I love that one. Now, as I was talking about the acne, this is the e.l.f. Flawless Face Powder. And this does have the salicylic acid in it. I don't know if you've ever seen these. I have not seen these. I've got 2 shades of this. I got this skin tone one, which is a little bit too dark for me. And then I've got one that's a little bit more yellow or banana color, which you get, and it does work to highlight your under eyes. But on the back it says uses for the treatment of acne, helps prevent new acne blemishes. Cleanse the skin thoroughly before applying medication. Cover the entire affected area with a thin layer 1 to 3 times daily. But you know what? It's also a makeup. And I mean, it just looks so beautiful. Now, this one is in the shade Light Beige. And like I said, I can't use this one because it's a little bit too dark. But if I am having breakouts, that's exactly what I do. I will put this on overnight, and it does dry out the acne. And this stuff actually works. That's what I was saying. I can't believe that they actually make makeup for acne. And while we're on that, I've got the e.l.f. This is the salicylic acid liquid, and this has just got the roller, and of course the lettering and words have all wore off of it, but it's in the shade Clear, of course, but it does have the roller ball. And now this is actually the blemish medication in a liquid, and this stuff also dries out really good. I mean, it works awesome. I use this at least twice a week overnight. Okay, the next thing I have is one of the e.l.f. matte lip colors. And of course, I've got mine in the shade Rich Red. These are such beautiful pens, but you don't never hear a whole lot about them. Such a beautiful shade, and they do show up matte. At least the ones that I have, they do go on completely matte. They wear beautifully. Now, they only last, I'm going to say tops 2 or 3 hours, but what can you expect out of a lipstick itself? But again, you don't really hear a lot about those anymore. And this one, if you could tell, my dog has got to this one. This is one of their e.l.f. Luscious Liquid Lipsticks. Now, as for a lipstick, I don't think they're that good for a little lipstick, but for a gloss and a little shimmer on the pouter of your lip, it works beautifully. It works fine, and it does have that like a felt tip, I'm going to say, but it is such a beautiful, and you turn the bottom right here. Let me see if I can't get a swatch of this one. Not sure if you can see this. If you can see, it is kind of iridescent. I mean, it does have a little color in it, but as calling it a lip color, I wouldn't think to call it that. I would call it a lip gloss, but I do think it's beautiful, and I do think it makes your lipstick, whatever you put to use it as a topper, it does work beautifully, and it does last a while, and it doesn't give you that sticky sensation that I think everybody hates, especially myself. Now, for some more eyeshadows, I do have one of this is the cream eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Mocha Swirl. And these are little dual shaded things. If you could tell, I've used this a lot. And a lot of times I'll use this up under an eyelid color, and it works beautifully. Now, you can just use these by themselves. They do dry up really fast. They do have a fast dry time. So as far as smudging them out, I don't know if you could do that. I haven't tried to do that yet. I'm pretty sure they can because they are awesome. But let me see if I can give you a swatch of this. But like I said, e.l.f. is one of my favorite companies at making eyeshadows, and their cream shadows are just as good. If you could see that. I mean, just some beautiful shades, and I think they done awesome pairing these two together. Okay, the next thing that we have is the lip scrub. And again, when this stuff first came out, you hear everybody about it. Everybody was happy that they actually brought a lip scrub to the drugstore. Now you don't really hear nothing else about it. Now, mine is in Mint Maniac, and of course I am down to the bottom, so I'm actually sticking the end of one of my brushes in there to get it out, but it works just the same. This is one of my favorite lip scrubs. Now, this is the only flavor that I've tried in this, but still, as for a lip scrub, this is one of the favorite ones that I have, and I use this maybe 3 times a week, and it works beautifully. But again, I don't really hear a lot about those no more than when they first come out. And a lot of this stuff it is so hyped up when it first comes out. But you would think that it being so good, you'd still be hearing about it here and there. But again, I don't. Now, the next thing I have is, of course, the e.l.f. primer. And this is their poreless primer. And I've got mine in shade Clear. I think they did have these in colors. I think they had them in like the color correcting colors. Now, this is just a clear. The only thing that I see wrong with this is the smell of it. It does have that like chemical smell to it. It smells kind of like Vicks Vapor Rub. But that smell goes away time it goes in. I mean, it's there for a second and then it's gone. So I don't see a problem with it. And this does, I mean, it hides my pores. It fills in my pores. Whatever this stuff is supposed to do, it does it. And I think it's a very awesome primer. Matter of fact, this is the second one I have. And matter of fact, I'm almost out of it too. But I believe that is it. So that is the end of the video. And I just wanted to show you these 10 products from e.l.f. that I don't really hear a lot about anymore, or I haven't heard about at all. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like and subscribe. I think I've got a tips, tricks, and techniques coming out hopefully soon. So hopefully you'll subscribe and you'll come back and see me for that one.